welcome to get a deep sleep. Take a moment now to settle into a comfortable position. Allow your body to relax, letting the day gently fall away. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to focus or try. Simply allow your eyes to close when they feel ready, and let this story carry you calmly into the night. The afternoon has been quiet for so long that it almost feels like evening already, even though the light is still soft and clear. Alice sits beside her sister on a gentle bank where the grass grows in small, comfortable tufts, and the ground feels steady and warm beneath them. Her sister's book rests open in her lap, the pages lying flat and still, and the air around them carries the faint scent of sun-warmed leaves and calm water. Somewhere nearby, the river moves in a slow, smooth way, making a sound that repeats without change, as if it has been flowing like this forever, and intends to keep going in the same steady rhythm. Alice's dress feels light against her skin, and when she shifts her weight, the fabric moves softly. She is not in any hurry. She is not waiting for anything in particular. She simply rests there, letting time pass without needing to hold it. Her sister turns a page now and then, and the paper makes a quiet sound before becoming still again. A small breeze passes through, barely stirring the grass. The trees overhead remain gentle and quiet, their leaves making a faint, predictable rustling when the air moves through them. Alice looks at the river, and then at the sky, and then at the grass close to her shoes. Her gaze wanders in a calm way, never landing for long. The day feels slow, and the slowness feels safe. It is the kind of quiet that makes thoughts soften at the edges, the kind that invites the body to settle more deeply into rest. Her sister's book has no pictures and no conversation, and Alice lets her attention drift away from it. The voice of the countryside is enough. The river continues. The breeze comes and goes. An insect hums briefly, then fades. A bird calls once, then becomes quiet again. Everything is simple and ordinary, and the ordinariness is soothing. Alice's eyelids feel a little heavy, not from exhaustion, but from the warmth of the air and the steadiness of the moment. She blinks slowly and lets her shoulders relax. Her hands rest loosely, and the tips of her fingers touch the grass beside her, feeling its coolness and its softness. Then, in the midst of all this stillness, something small and pale moves through the nearby grass, not suddenly, not sharply, but in a light and gentle way, as if it belongs here just as much as the river and the trees. A white rabbit passes close by, its fur neat and clean, its ears lifted, its steps soft and quick, but not loud. It moves along the bank with the quiet confidence of something following a familiar path. Alice watches without surprise. The sight feels like part of a dream that has drifted into the afternoon. The rabbit's eyes are bright, but calm. Its whiskers quiver faintly as it moves. And then, in a way that feels strangely natural, the rabbit carries a small watch, which catches the light for a moment with a gentle gleam. The rabbit glances at it, not with panic, but but with a mild, practiced concern, the way someone might look at the time out of habit. The rabbit's voice is soft, almost like the rustle of leaves, and it speaks a few quiet words that drift into the air and then settle. The sound is not startling. It is simply there, like any other sound. Alice hears it and remains calm, as if her mind has decided this is normal, as if the day has made room for it. Her sister continues reading unbothered, turning another page with a quiet motion. Alice, however, feels a gentle pull of curiosity, not sharp, not urgent, only light, like the feeling of noticing a path you have not walked before. She rises slowly from the grass, brushing her fingertips lightly against her dress, and takes a few unhurried steps in the direction the rabbit has gone. The ground beneath her feet is steady. The air remains warm. The river continues. Nothing changes quickly. Alice follows at an easy pace, her shoes making the softest sounds against the earth. The rabbit moves ahead, its white tail like a small cloud in motion, its watch still held carefully. It looks up, then forward again, and continues along the bank. A little farther on, near the roots of a large tree, the rabbit slips toward an opening in the ground, a burrow that seems deeper and smoother than an ordinary one. It is not frightening. It looks clean and rounded, like an old tunnel shaped by time. The rabbit disappears inside as easily as a thought drifting away. Alice stands at the edge and looks down. The opening seems to invite quiet exploration, not danger, not excitement, only a gentle shift from one space to another. The air that rises from the burrow feels cool and still. Alice's breath remains slow. Her hands rest at her sides. And then, as naturally as stepping from sunlight into shade, she lets herself move forward, and she finds that the ground seems to soften beneath her feet in a way that feels like the beginning of floating. She does not fall with suddenness. She drifts. The sensation is calm, as if she has stepped into a slow-moving current of air. Around her, the walls of the tunnel feel smooth and steady, and the darkness is not harsh. It is soft, like a dim room. The movement downward is gentle enough that she has time to notice small details without needing to hold them tightly. The tunnel continues, and Alice continues drifting, as if the world has decided to carry her for a while. She passes shelves built into the earthen walls, and on them are jars and small objects resting quietly, their shapes simple, their presence comforting, like things stored away with care. Some jars have labels, though they are hard to read in the dimness. Some are empty, some are filled with small, ordinary items. Nothing here feels sharp or threatening. Everything feels like it has been here for a long time, waiting patiently. As she drifts, her dress moves lightly around her legs, and the air feels cool against her cheeks. The motion remains steady and unhurried. The quiet repeats. The darkness stays gentle. Alice's breathing stays calm. She is carried deeper in the same smooth way, as if she is being lowered softly, the way a feather might be lowered by a slow hand. She notices a small cupboard in the wall and a picture frame. and a book resting on a shelf, and a few simple dishes that look as if they have been placed there carefully. The objects do not move. They do not demand attention. They simply exist, calm and still, while Alice continues drifting past them. After a time that feels neither long nor short, the tunnel widens, and the air grows slightly warmer again. The gentle descent slows, and Alice comes to rest in a quiet heap of softness, as if she has settled onto a deep layer of leaves or a pile of light cushions. There is no impact that needs noticing. There is only the quiet sense of arriving. She sits up slowly and looks around. The space is a hall, long and smooth, lit by lamps that cast a warm, low glow. The floor beneath her is solid and cool, and her hands touch it briefly, feeling the steadiness. The hall is lined with doors, many of them, each one closed, each one plain, each one resting in place without meaning. At the far end, a small table stands beneath the light, and on it rests a tiny golden key, gleaming softly. Alice walks toward the table at an easy pace. Her footsteps are quiet on the smooth floor. The lamps do not flicker. The air feels still, and the silence is comfortable. She reaches the table and picks up the key, feeling its cool metal in her fingers. It is small and light. She turns it gently, noticing how it catches the warm light. She tries a nearby door, then another, and then another, each time with the same calm motion, without frustration, without hurry. The doors remain closed, as if they are content to stay as they are. The action becomes simple and repetitive. Step, reach, turn, pause, step again. Her breathing remains slow. Her shoulders remain relaxed. Eventually, she comes to a small curtain hanging along the wall, a simple fabric drape that she had not noticed at first. She lifts it gently, and behind it, there is a small door, much smaller than the others, set low near the floor. The key fits this lock easily, turning with a soft click that sounds gentle rather than loud. When she opens the small door, she sees a narrow passage beyond, leading to a garden that looks quiet and inviting. The garden is lit by soft daylight, the kind that feels distant and peaceful, as if it belongs to another calm afternoon. The sight is gentle, and it brings a subtle freshness to the air, as if the scent of flowers and clean leaves has drifted through the opening. Alice remains still for a moment, not thinking deeply, not planning, simply noticing. The door is small, and she is not small enough to pass through it as she is. The fact feels simple, like noticing that a chair is too low or a shelf is too high. It is not a problem to solve with effort. It is only a detail of the moment. She returns to the table, where a small bottle rests now, as if it has always been there, filled with a clear liquid and labeled with neat writing. The label is plain and calm. Alice lifts the bottle, feeling its smooth glass. She looks at it, then at the room, then back at the bottle, as if the hall has arranged things quietly and politely, offering one small change after another. She takes a tiny sip, and the taste is gentle, like something faintly sweet and clean, not strong, not surprising. The change that follows is soft and gradual, as if she is simply settling into a different scale of the same quiet world. The ceiling seems higher, the table seems taller, and the room seems to expand around her. Her body feels lighter, smaller, more delicate, as if she has become as easy as a thought. She sets the bottle down carefully and walks back to the little door. Now the passage feels closer, more accessible, and the garden beyond looks softly luminous. She steps toward it with calm curiosity, her footsteps quiet, her breathing steady. But the key is not in her hand now. It rests on the table above her reach. The detail is simple. Alice looks up at the table, then at the key, then at the floor. She moves to the table and places her hand against the leg, feeling the smooth wood. The hall remains still. The lamps remain warm. The air remains calm. She notices a small cake under a glass cover, resting near the wall, as if it has been placed there for no urgent reason, simply as another ordinary part of the room. The cake looks plain and soft, with a gentle color and a neat shape. There is a small word written on it in currants, and the letters are tidy and clear. Alice lifts the glass cover and takes a small bite. The cake tastes mild and comforting, like something baked simply with butter and sugar and nothing more. The change that follows is, again, slow and gentle, as if her body is being carried upward by a quiet tide. The hall becomes smaller around her, the lamps lower, the doors closer. She grows taller, and the ceiling seems to drift nearer, not as a threat, but as a simple physical fact of size. She rests one hand against the wall, feeling its smoothness. The sensation is grounding. The air remains still. The light remains warm. Her breathing remains slow, and the moment remains calm, even as her body changes. In the distance, she hears a soft patter of steps, the familiar light sound of the white rabbit returning to the hall. The rabbit appears neat and pale, its ears lifted, its watch still held carefully. It pauses, noticing Alice, then moves with a quiet, gentle haste, as if following a schedule without stress. It drops a small fan and a pair of gloves, and then disappears again through one of the doors, leaving the objects behind. The fan rests on the floor, and the gloves lie beside it, soft and small. Alice picks up the fan, and the movement of air it creates is cool and pleasant against her face. She fans herself lightly, the breeze repeating in a slow pattern: lift, sweep, pause, lift, sweep, pause. The air feels fresh. The hall remains quiet. The light stays steady. As she continues fanning, she notices herself becoming smaller again, gradually, softly, as if the air itself is helping her settle back down. The floor seems to rise to meet her. The table becomes tall again. The key remains above, still waiting. The little door remains near the floor, still leading to the quiet garden beyond. Alice sets the fan down gently and walks back toward the table. Her steps are small now, soft and quiet. The hall remains unchanged in its calmness. She finds the bottle again, the cake again, the table, the doors, the lamps, all resting in place as if they are part of a gentle routine. In this quiet sequence, her movements become repetitive and slow, moving between the table and the door, between the bottle and the key, between one size and another, without hurry, without frustration. Only following the simple flow the hall seems to offer. The sounds remain soft. The light remains warm. The air remains still. And as time continues to drift in this gentle way, the hall holds its calm. The doors remain quiet. The garden waits beyond the small passage with its soft daylight and its distant scent of leaves. And Alice continues moving in small, careful motions, her breathing steady, her steps quiet, the scene repeating softly and predictably as everything settles into the slow, dreamlike rhythm of a place that asks for nothing and continues on, gently, steadily, beyond whatever can be noticed in any single moment. Alice remains within the long, softly lit hall, and nothing there feels pressed for time. The lamps continue to glow with the same warm steadiness, their light resting gently against the walls and floor. The doors remain closed, each one calm and patient, as if they have always been this way and intend to stay so. The small table stands quietly at the center of the space, holding the familiar objects without drawing attention to them. Alice's movements slow even further, becoming smaller and more careful. Each step she takes is light, almost weightless, and the sound of her shoes against the smooth floor is barely noticeable. She pauses near the little door again, not because she is deciding anything, but because her body naturally comes to rest there. The garden beyond still glows softly, unchanged, with its distant light and quiet suggestion of open air. The hall itself feels steady and secure, like a place designed for waiting without impatience. Alice's breathing is slow, and even her shoulders relaxed, her hands resting gently at her sides. The air is neither warm nor cool, simply comfortable, and it seems to hold her without effort. After a while, Alice notices another door opening quietly at the far end of the hall. The sound is faint, no more than a soft shift in the stillness. From behind it emerges a small figure, walking at an unhurried pace. It is the mouse, gray and neat, moving carefully across the floor as if accustomed to the quiet. Its whiskers twitch lightly, and its eyes remain calm and observant. The mouse pauses when it sees Alice, and then continues on its way without alarm. It moves toward a corner of the hall where the light is slightly dimmer, its tail tracing a gentle line behind it. The sound of its footsteps is barely there, and soon it becomes still, settling comfortably as if it belongs exactly where it is. Alice watches without surprise. The appearance of the mouse feels as natural as the presence of the doors or the table. She remains where she is, her attention resting softly on the scene without needing to follow any one detail. The lamps continue to glow. The hall remains unchanged. Time feels loose and flexible, stretching gently without edges. Gradually, the space around Alice begins to feel a little different, though nothing moves quickly. The walls seem to drift slightly farther apart, and the ceiling feels higher, as if the hall is breathing outward in a slow, steady way. The change is subtle enough that it feels more like a sensation than an event. Alice's body feels light again, as if she has returned to a comfortable balance. Her feet rest firmly on the floor, and her breathing continues in the same calm rhythm. She walks once more toward the small door, and this time the movement feels easy and natural, as if the distance has softened. She kneels slightly and peers through the opening. The garden beyond remains peaceful, filled with gentle light and quiet greenery. The scent drifting through the door is faint but fresh, like leaves and open air after a calm morning. Alice stays there for a moment, simply noticing the way the light looks through the doorway. Behind her, the hall remains still. The mouse rests quietly. The lamps do not flicker. The doors do not open or close. After some time, Alice rises again and turns away from the little door. Her steps carry her slowly along the length of the hall, past door after door, each one the same as the last. The repetition becomes soothing, the pattern of movement familiar and predictable. Step, pause, step, pause. The floor feels cool and smooth beneath her shoes, grounding her gently. At one point, she comes to a low table near the wall, different from the first, but equally simple. Upon it rests a bowl filled with clear water. The surface of the water is still, reflecting the soft light above. Alice leans forward slightly and looks into it, seeing her own reflection wavering faintly, then settling again. She dips her fingers into the water, feeling its coolness spread gently across her skin. The sensation is refreshing, but calm, and when she lifts her hand, the droplets fall back into the bowl with soft, quiet sounds. The water returns to stillness almost immediately. Alice wipes her fingers on her dress and continues on, leaving the bowl exactly as it was. The hall seems to accept every small action without response, remaining steady and neutral. As she walks, she notices that the air carries a faint echo now, not loud, but present, as if sounds linger just a little longer before fading. Her footsteps still remain soft, and the echo does not repeat sharply. It simply adds another layer of quiet to the space. Eventually, Alice reaches another end of the hall where a doorway stands open, leading into a wide chamber filled with water. The water is calm and reflective, spreading out like a smooth lake beneath the same gentle light. The surface barely moves, and the room feels cool and expansive. Alice steps closer and finds that the floor slopes gently downward toward the water's edge. She sits there for a moment, her feet near the surface, feeling the cooler air rise up. The water does not rush or ripple. It simply rests, waiting. The mouse appears again nearby, moving quietly along the edge of the water. It pauses and looks out across the smooth surface, then settles beside Alice at a respectful distance. Neither speaks. Neither needs to. The sound in this chamber is even softer than before. The faintest lap of water against stone, the quiet movement of air, the distant hum of nothing in particular. Everything feels wide and calm. Alice lets her gaze drift across the water, noticing how the light reflects without glare. The reflections remain stable, predictable, soothing. Her eyelids feel heavy again, and she blinks slowly, allowing her vision to soften. She rests her hands on the floor beside her, feeling the cool stone beneath her palms. The sensation is grounding and gentle. Her breathing deepens slightly, matching the stillness of the room. Time continues to pass without being measured. The hall behind her remains quiet. The water remains calm. The mouse remains nearby, still and comfortable. Eventually, Alice stands again and turns back toward the hall. Her movements remain slow and deliberate. She walks away from the water chamber without hurry, returning to the familiar corridor with its many doors and warm lamps. As she moves, the sounds of her footsteps fade into the steady hush of the space. The repetition of the hall returns, the doors passing one by one, each one the same as the last. The pattern feels comforting, almost rhythmic. Alice's body feels fully at ease now, as if the hall has absorbed any remaining tension. Her shoulders are loose. Her hands are light. Her breath moves smoothly in and out. The lamps continue their steady glow. The mouse rests somewhere behind her, no longer needing attention. The small door and the distant garden remain part of the space, waiting quietly. Alice continues walking, her steps unhurried, her attention soft. The hall stretches on in the same gentle way, repeating itself without change, holding her in its calm rhythm as everything settles further into stillness. And the quiet world of this place continues on, steady and open, without needing to arrive anywhere at all. The air in the hall stays warm and quiet as Alice keeps walking, and the steady glow of the lamps makes every step feel gentle and unhurried. The doors continue to pass by, one after another, each one closed, each one calm, each one simply present. Her shoes make a soft, repeating sound on the smooth floor, a sound that rises and fades in a predictable rhythm, never sharp, never loud. After a while, the corridor begins to feel less like a single long passage and more like a quiet loop, a place that can be walked without needing a destination. Alice's pace remains slow. Her shoulders stay loose. Her hands rest naturally at her sides, fingers relaxed. The air feels comfortably still, and the light remains even, with no flicker, no sudden change. She comes again to the open doorway that leads toward the wide chamber of water. The coolness of that space reaches her before she steps inside, a soft shift in temperature that feels clean and calm. She walks down the gentle slope and pauses near the water's edge. The surface is still and reflective, holding the lamp light in long, smooth shapes. The water does not rush or sparkle. It rests, quiet and steady. The mouse is there again, near the edge, moving slowly along the stone. Its whiskers twitch softly. It seems at ease, as if this place has always been familiar to it. Alice lowers herself to sit on the cool stone, her hands resting lightly on the floor beside her. The stone is smooth and slightly cold, and the sensation is grounding, steadying. The chamber holds a soft hush. There is the faintest sound of water touching stone, so quiet it almost seems imagined. And then there is stillness again. The air feels cooler here, and when Alice breathes in, she notices the clean scent of water and stone, faint and gentle. She looks out over the surface, letting her gaze drift without settling. The reflections remain stable. The water remains calm. The mouse pauses and sits down as well, its small body still, its eyes calm. Nothing needs to happen. Time continues without being counted. In the distance, another small ripple appears, not sudden, only a gentle widening circle, and then the surface settles again. A moment later, a soft sound reaches them, like a quiet paddle moving through water. It is slow and mild, not sharp. Something approaches, and the approach itself feels unhurried, as if it has all the time it needs. A small group of animals drifts into view on the calm surface, each one moving as if the water carries them lightly. A dodo sits upright, its feathers neat, its gaze calm and steady. A lory rests nearby, quiet, and a small duck floats close, its head turning slowly, then stilling. They do not arrive with excitement. They simply appear as naturally as the lamps or the doors, and their presence settles into the chamber without changing the tone of the quiet. Alice watches them without surprise. Her breathing stays even. The animals come closer, their movement gentle, and the water barely shifts around them. They reach the edge and pause, as if resting there is the most ordinary thing. The dodo steps carefully onto the stone, shaking off a few drops that fall quietly and disappear. The sound is soft. The dodo's posture remains calm, and it looks around the chamber with the mild assurance of something that has been here before. The duck follows, then the lory, and they gather in a loose cluster, not pressing close, not demanding space, simply being present. The mouse remains near Alice, still and quiet. Alice remains seated, hands resting on the stone, feeling its cool firmness beneath her palms. The air stays cool and clean, and the lamps continue their steady glow. The animals seem to consider what to do next, not with urgency, but with the slow ease of a familiar routine. The dodo takes a few unhurried steps along the edge of the chamber, then pauses. The duck waddles a little, its webbed feet making soft taps on the stone. The lory tilts its head and blinks slowly. After a time, the dodo begins to move in a gentle circle, walking along the edge of the chamber at a steady, relaxed pace. The duck follows at a comfortable distance, and the lorry follows as well, and then the mouse, and then Alice, rising slowly to join them. There is no race to win, no finish line to reach, only the quiet repetition of walking in a circle, step after step, the same view returning again and again. The stone beneath their feet stays cool. The sound of footsteps remains soft and predictable. The water remains still beside them. The lamps continue their warm glow. The circular path feels soothing in its repetition, and after several slow rounds, it becomes easy to forget where it started, easy to forget why it began, leaving only the gentle movement and the steady rhythm. Alice's steps are light. Her breathing remains slow. Her dress shifts softly with each motion, fabric brushing lightly against fabric. The duck's feet make a soft patter. The dodo's steps are measured and calm. The lorry's feathers move faintly in the cool air. The circle continues, and the quiet continues, and the water remains calm. When the dodo finally stops, it does so without announcement. It simply comes to rest, and the others come to rest as well, gathering again loosely near the edge. They stand there for a while, breathing softly. The animals blink slowly. The chamber remains cool and quiet. The water remains still. After some time, the group drifts back toward the corridor, moving at the same gentle pace. The dodo steps up the slope, the duck follows, the lorry follows, and the mouse and Alice follow. The air grows slightly warmer as they leave the water chamber behind. The lamps in the hallway feel familiar again, the glow steady and calm. The corridor stretches ahead, and the doors continue to line the walls, each one closed and quiet. The dodo walks slowly, pausing now and then as if noticing the lamps, the smoothness of the walls, the stillness of the place. The duck waddles steadily. The lorry remains close, quiet, and composed. The mouse keeps near Alice, its movement soft and careful. They pass the small table again. The golden key still rests there, unchanged. The bottle and the small cake, when they appear, feel like ordinary objects that simply belong, as if they have been waiting in the same way the doors have been waiting. The little door and its glimpse of the garden remain, still glowing softly with distant daylight. Alice approaches the little door again and looks through. The garden beyond remains peaceful, green, and still, with a gentle brightness that does not glare. The scent of leaves is faint, as if carried through a long distance. She stays there for a moment, and the group behind her remains quiet, not pressing, not speaking, simply waiting. Then, with a slow and natural ease, Alice finds herself able to move through the opening. It happens without effort, as if the space has shifted just enough, as if her body has settled into the right scale. She steps forward, and the cool stone beneath her feet becomes a different surface, softer and warmer, like packed earth touched by gentle daylight. The garden air feels fresh. It is not cold. It carries a light scent of flowers and leaves and clean soil. The light here is soft and even, the the kind that rests on the ground without creating harsh shadows. The plants are calm and still, their shapes neat and simple. Small paths curve gently through low beds of flowers, and the leaves move only slightly when a mild breeze passes. Alice stands quietly at the entrance, taking in the garden without needing to focus. Behind her, the little door remains open, but the hall beyond already feels distant, as if it belongs to another quiet room far away. The animals follow slowly, one by one, stepping into the garden with the same calm pace. The dodo looks around and blinks slowly. The duck pauses and then waddles forward. The lory settles on a low branch, feathers smooth. The mouse remains near the edge of the path, still and quiet. The garden feels safe and unhurried. There is no need to choose a direction quickly. The paths lead gently onward, and each one looks much like the next, calm and inviting. Alice begins to walk along one path at an easy pace. The others follow, not tightly grouped, but close enough to be companionable. Their footsteps are soft on the earth. The breeze moves through leaves with a faint, predictable rustle. Somewhere, a small fountain trickles quietly, the sound repeating in a steady pattern that blends easily into the air. The light remains even. The colors of the flowers are gentle, not bright, softened by the calm daylight. They pass a row of low shrubs trimmed neatly, their leaves smooth and slightly glossy. Alice reaches out and brushes her fingertips lightly over one leaf as she passes. The leaf feels cool and firm, and then her hand falls back to her side. The sensation is small, grounding, gentle. The path curves, and they come upon a table set beneath a tree. The table is simple, wooden, and set with cups and a teapot. Everything rests neatly in place. There is no bustle around it, no loud conversation, only the quiet presence of objects arranged as if someone enjoys setting things carefully. A chair stands slightly apart, and another chair rests at an angle, and the teapot sits at the center, calm and still. Alice and the others do not need to sit. They simply pass by, letting the table remain as it is. The dodo glances at it briefly. The duck's gaze drifts over it. The lory remains quiet. The mouse keeps walking. The garden continues to unfold in gentle repetition. Paths, low flowers, small trees, neat hedges, soft light, faint breeze. The fountain's sound remains steady and distant, never changing much, always present enough to be reassuring. They come to a small archway formed by climbing plants. Leaves hang down in soft shapes, and the air beneath the arch feels slightly cooler. Alice walks under it slowly. The others follow. The light changes just a little, becoming slightly dimmer, then bright again as they emerge on the other side. The change is subtle and soothing. In a quiet corner, a large cat rests on a flat stone, its fur smooth, its eyes half closed. It watches them with a calm, unbothered gaze, then slowly closes its eyes again. The cat's presence feels steady, familiar, like a warm animal resting in a sunlit place. It does not move quickly. It simply breathes, slow and even. Alice passes by without stopping, and the cat remains where it is, still and relaxed. The sound of the fountain continues. The leaves rustle softly. The path beneath her feet remains firm and gentle. The group continues on, moving slowly, and the garden seems to repeat its quiet patterns. Another trimmed hedge, another small bed of flowers, another gentle curve in the path, a small stone bench set beside a patch of low greenery, a lamp post that is not lit, simply standing quietly as if it belongs to evenings as well as afternoons. The longer they walk, the less each detail feels new. The sensations become familiar. The sound of footsteps remains soft and steady. The breeze remains mild. The fountain remains a gentle trickle. The light remains warm and even. Alice's breathing grows slower, her shoulders sinking a little more, her hands relaxed. The dodo continues with measured steps. The duck waddles softly. The lory blinks slowly, feathers barely shifting. The mouse remains near, its movement quiet and careful. The cat remains resting behind them, and the garden continues ahead. The path leads toward a wider open lawn where the grass is short and smooth. The open space feels calm, like a quiet clearing. Alice steps onto the grass, and her shoes sink just slightly, the ground soft underfoot. The sensation is gentle, supportive. The others follow, their footsteps barely audible. They cross the lawn slowly, and the sound of the fountain becomes a little fainter. The breeze is still present, but soft. The sky above remains clear and calm. The light remains steady. At the far side of the lawn, another hedge forms a boundary, and beyond it, the garden continues in more gentle paths. Alice slows slightly, not stopping, only letting her pace soften further. The others match her naturally. The walk becomes a simple repetition again, like the circle by the water, only now through greenery and soft daylight. Step after step, the same calm sensations returning. The feel of air on skin, the sound of leaves, the steady movement of walking, the gentle weight of the body supported by the ground. Alice's eyelids feel heavy now in a peaceful way. She blinks slowly, letting her gaze soften. The garden remains quiet and unchanged, and the group continues moving, unhurried, with no need to arrive. They pass another small table, another bench, another quiet corner of flowers. They pass another archway of leaves. They pass another patch of grass where the light lies softly. The pattern repeats, and the repetition becomes more soothing with each gentle moment. The dodo pauses for a moment and then continues. The duck pauses and then continues. The mouse remains steady. The lory remains calm. Alice continues walking, her breathing slow, and even her steps soft on earth and grass. The garden seems to hold them in the same way the hall did, with steady light and gentle air. Nothing demands attention. Nothing changes sharply. Everything continues in quiet sameness, as if the garden itself is designed to let the mind loosen and drift. And so the walk continues, slowly and softly, through paths that curve and straighten, through hedges and open lawns, through small pockets of shade and gentle stretches of light, with the faint sound of water somewhere in the distance, and the soft rustle of leaves repeating in the breeze, while Alice moves with calm, unhurried steps beside her quiet companions, and the garden remains peaceful and steady, continuing on without needing to end.